What's good, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a super chill chit chat video. I didn't do a lot of planning for this one. You guys know I'm all about like my structure of my videos. I did not do that today, but I did want to go back and retouch on a topic that I recorded a video on maybe 6 months or so ago, which is how I've reprogrammed my mind to create my dream life. I feel like I've learned a lot since recording that video, and for me, my definition of even like a dream life has started to change a little bit. So I really want to share with you guys some more insights that I've been gaining about this and some things that I think are really important to keep in mind when it comes to building your dream life. And the first thing is that when we think about our dream life, I think a lot of times we think firstly about financially where we're at. We live in a capitalistic world. We're constantly taught that our value for the most part comes from material things, from how much money we're making, from where we live to what kind of car we drive. And so when we think about our dream life, I think a lot of times we're thinking about these material things. But for me, when I think about living your dream life, that doesn't necessarily just mean financial. For me, living your dream life just means literally waking up every single day, despite whatever your circumstances look like, and choosing to be in the present, choosing to operate from a frequency of love. That can mean having self-worth and self-love for yourself, building the best relationships and the best community around you that you possibly can, waking up every day and doing what you love, no matter what job you're working, no matter what you're doing to pay the bills, still waking up every single day and chasing your passions, chasing your dreams, and taking steps every single day to get closer and closer to your dreams. That to me is living your dream life. And for me, I didn't really learn this until I was at a place in my life where I was super unhappy. I talked about this in my last video. I was really unhappy at one point in my life. I was not satisfied with who I was, had a lot of insecurities and just fear within myself. And for me, I had to eventually at one point make a switch and realize that despite certain external circumstances not being the way that I wanted them to be, I still could choose to be living my dream life in that very moment. And I really want you guys to realize this, because I think a lot of us are waiting for this big grand gesture for our lives to kind of change. We're waiting for us to be making a certain amount of money. Maybe you're waiting to quit your job, or maybe you're waiting to have this big move or to live in your dream apartment for you to really feel like you're living your dream life. But I promise you, and I can tell you from experience, you can choose to live your dream life right now. And that's actually the first step for you to build your dream life, to start building on your goals and doing the things that you want to do. Is you have to accept your current reality for what it is and start changing your mentality so that you are living your dream life right now. And I totally understand that even being able to say that comes from a privileged perspective. The wealth gap is bigger than it's ever been. The minimum wage is not anywhere where it needs to be. There are people who can very much barely get by. But at the end of the day, and as tough as this might be to hear, as long as you continue feeling bad for yourself, as long as you continue being angry at the world for your current situation, your situation will never change. Like the people at the top who are hoarding majority of the world's wealth, they are operating from a fear-based frequency. That's why they act the way they do. That's why they've created systems that make the world the way that it is right now. At the end of the day, when you're operating from this mentality of this world is fucked up, therefore this is why my situation is fucked up, you will be operating from that same fear-based frequency as the people at the top. You have to first realize that you have the power to choose to stop operating from a place of lack or from a place of considering yourself the victim of your current situation, and start accepting your reality for what it is, and then decide right now in this very moment to choose otherwise. And so for me, whenever I was in a really negative headspace, I was honestly always thinking and really speaking about myself from a negative headspace. I would say really self-deprecating things to myself. I would think thoughts that were basically aligned with me not being worthy of success, me not being worthy of love, me not being worthy of the person that I wanted to be. And so for me, the only major shift that I really started making that really helped me build my dream life is catching these thoughts, catching these things as I was doing them, and making the shift immediately. And it sounds a lot easier said than done. So I'm really gonna kind of break down how you can do this in your day-to-day life. So in order to start doing this, you need to become self-aware of your thoughts, your words, and your actions on a day-to-day basis. So when you're sitting down and you're just thinking in your head about all these reasons why you're never going to be successful, about why your current situation is shitty and why you're never going to be able to get past them, when you realize that you are having those thoughts, stop them and just make a switch. Decide in that exact very moment that, you know what, no, actually, I am worthy of success. I am worthy of being the person that I want to be. Despite my current situation, I'm going to be successful. Same thing goes with the words that you are speaking. So whenever you are speaking to a friend and you're talking about your life, whenever you find yourself saying some negative things about yourself or saying why you can't do something, catch yourself in that moment and change the trajectory. Like for me, when I was in a really negative headspace, I had a really bad habit of doing this, and I still kind of do. I'm still kind of working on it. But for me, I've really had to start catching myself the more that I do that, because I've had to realize that my words carry power. Your words are like spells. The universe hears what you are saying and again aligns your reality to match up with what you are saying. So continue to be aware of what you're speaking about, how you're speaking about yourself, how you're speaking about your future, how you're speaking about your current situation. Because again, at the end of the day, we're very much trained to think from a fear-based mentality. So it's normal to naturally maybe resort to that way of thinking. But the more you catch yourself, the more you're aware of these things when you're doing them, the quicker that you can change the direction and start operating again from a place of love. And again, the same thing goes with your actions, right? When you find yourself, if you wake up in the morning and you're just scrolling through your phone for hours, once you realize that you're doing that, once you realize that you're wasting your time or that what you're doing are not aligned with the person that you want to be, just decide in that moment to put your phone down, decide to stop whatever it is that you're doing and switch. You have the power in literally every single moment to decide who you want to be. So even if you've spent the past 10 years not aligned with who you want to be, if you spent your entire life not aligned with who you want to be, you have the power right now to make a switch. You have the power right now to catch yourself when you're thinking negatively about yourself. You have the power to catch yourself when you're speaking negatively about yourself. And you have the power to catch yourself when you're doing things that are not aligned with the person who you want to be. You have the power to make that switch in every single moment. And the more that you start catching yourself and making that switch, the more natural it will become for your thoughts, your actions, your words, all of it will become aligned with who you want to be, with what your dream life looks like, and eventually your reality will start matching up with that as well. That's how you create your dream reality, is by first training your mind to catch yourself when you are not aligned with your dream reality. And for me, I think the best way that I've really learned how to do this is through meditation. I know you've heard it before, and if you're not in a meditation, you're probably rolling your eyes because you're like, I don't understand why it's so important. I'm telling you, the more you can sit down with yourself and really observe your thoughts, as uncomfortable as it is when you first start doing it, sit down with yourself and learn to just watch your thoughts. Learn to watch your thoughts without judging your thoughts. So when you're having a bunch of negative thoughts about yourself and you're like, damn, Lynette said, and all these spiritual people on YouTube or whatever are saying that I should start switching how I think about myself. Why am I doing this? This is so stupid. Like, I'm so dumb. Then you start judging yourself even more, right? Just catch yourself in the moment and forgive yourself. Every single time that you are not thinking, speaking, or acting in alignment with the person who you want to be, forgive yourself in that exact moment and change the direction. Don't get caught up on why you're not aligning with who you want to be. Don't get caught up on who you've been in the past or why it's taken you so long to start thinking positively. Don't get caught up on it. And this is why meditation is really, really helpful. And you have to literally train your brain, because again, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. You'll sit down with yourself and start realizing that, okay, my thoughts are not me. The thoughts that I'm having every single day, that's not my identity. What my identity is the observer of those thoughts and how I choose to react to those thoughts. Same thing with the things that are going on in your life. Who you are is not the cards that you've been dealt in your life. Who you are is not what your family's income status looked like growing up, or what school you went to, or whether or not you have a college degree. That's not who you are. Who you are is your reaction to every single thing that you are given in your life. So when you sit down and you meditate and you start observing and you start seeing thoughts pass by, remember that those thoughts, that self-deprecating thought that you are not worthy of success, that's not you. What you are is the observer. So all you have to do is sit down Watch the thoughts as they pass. If they're negative, okay, let them pass. Don't get caught up on them and don't follow them and carry them with you everywhere you go. Again, I'm still very much working on this. I'm not perfect in any way. For me, I will sit here and spend 2 hours scrolling through TikTok and be like, damn, why did I just do that? Like, that's so stupid. I just wasted 2 hours of my life. And then I get on and on about how I just wasted so much time. And then I'm beating myself up. Then I'm like, of course I don't deserve to be successful because I just spent 2 hours on TikTok and I waste my time all the time. And then eventually it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, wait. Deep breath, in, out. Let me take a second. Let me observe that. And let me just say, you know what? Actually, fuck it. Let me forgive myself for the past 2 hours that I spent wasting time. And now let me choose to go and spend my time doing something else. And let me affirm to myself that despite that, I am worthy of success, that I am amazing, that I am the person who I want to be, that I am aligned with love, and that I'm walking in my purpose. Because again, even if in the past 2 hours I was not doing that, I can decide in this very moment that I'm doing that now. So again, at the end of the day, building your dream life just really comes down to deciding in this very moment who you want to be. Decide to make heaven on earth for you right now, because that's all that we have. Be in the now, come back to the present as often as you can. Do whatever rituals and practices. Maybe it's not meditation for you, maybe it's something else, but do rituals and practices that help train your brain to bring you back to the now, and make sure that what you are doing right now is aligned with who you want to be. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that was helpful in some way. I know I just rambled a lot in this video. I just really want to come on here and talk to you guys and share this because I feel like I'm kind of learning this all over again. I feel like for me right now, I'm really going through another really big transformational period of my life. And I'm really just learning these things on a very much more amplified scale, it feels like. And so I really just want to go back to this topic and share it with you guys and remind you guys that you have the power. Again, no matter what cards you were dealt, despite what you don't have control over in this very moment, what you do have control over is your thoughts, is your words, is your actions. That's what we are blessed with. That's the gift from the universe that we were given, is control over these things. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys are doing. What are some things that you've been learning so far this year? Are you going through a shift right now where you're relearning some of these lessons as well? Let me know because I'm very curious to see how you guys are doing. And of course, make sure you guys are subscribed, that you guys are a part of the community, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video and for being such a helpful platform for me building my online presence in the past year. Squarespace is everything that you might need, from marketing tools and analytics to third-party extensions, and even a place for you to collect online donations all in one place. It's basically a one-stop shop for you to build an online presence, so I highly recommend you guys go check them out. You guys can get a free trial and then use my link down below for a 10% off discount from your first purchase.